Well, here we are. Rotten Tomatoes, the score, or at least the early score for SHAZAM Fury of the Gods is out. And,
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
Thanks, Big Papa Pump. The numbers sure don't lie. Now again, I hear ya. I'm gonna see you in the comments. We all know how this goes. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. That got rotten. Suddenly, Rotten Tomatoes mattered because it shows it's bad. But when the film does good and you're excited for it, well, Rotten Tomatoes must be correct. We all know how this goes. I'm just pointing it out. Either way, though, Rotten Tomatoes, SHAZAM Fury of the Gods, currently, I refreshed 4 times before I started to make this video, sat at a 67%. So, yeah, typically, films hardly ever go up. When we look at the history of some films recently that started off really high and then took a straight down nosedive over the course of a couple days. Joker, for example, is a good one to bring up because that's a film from DC that started off at like a 95 and then it ended up in like the 60s. Thor: Love and Thunder from Marvel, that started off pretty decently and then and it kind of settled there. So, is this anything to worry about? Again, it all depends on how you look at it, right? Like, to me, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't matter. Like, I don't care. But I understand why it's a industry standard. And I understand why some people do go to it. And I understand why some people fight battles over it. Even though it's arbitrary numbers that are stupid, that don't define anything. But I get it. It's like Metacritic. Does X game deserve X score? Sure. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Whatever, right? But the takeaway I get here from Fury of the Gods, and just by looking at sort of like the summation of each review, is that you're definitely looking at a mixed bag. And I think that's really the big takeaway here. When you compare to Rotten Tomatoes to the first film, it's a substantial drop, and it's probably going to go lower. And that is always an issue for everybody involved, especially for this character who's already looking at let's just be honest, an abysmal opening weekend and also an uncertain future. Is this score and the box office going to factor into the future? One would have to assume. So, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that the score is here and going to expectedly drop lower, but I don't know. Something about this film always seemed off to me, and I've talked about it for a while, and maybe I'll see what it is tomorrow, and I'll report back with my review. I hope I'm surprised, but I don't know. Something just seems off about this film.